Hello everybody, I'm back with some more Tex Murphy. Oh, also, I looked at the last video and I noticed that the program didn't really record that window where it shows Slade's ID. I don't know why or how. I noticed it doesn't record some of the letters, some windows. It records some of them randomly. Like there was this one puzzle in the Anastasia area with the bricks, which it was recording the window of the puzzle, but then I decided to exit out of it, check something in my inventory, and then I went back into it and it decided not to record the second time. I don't know why or how, but it just doesn't show them, as if there is nothing displayed on my monitor, even though there is. So I guess at this point I'm simply thankful that the videos are playing correctly, and the puzzles I guess I'll redo after that. Whatever can be captured, I'll try and redo it. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so now I have me a briefcase to...
I guess Slade's gambling includes more than roulette. These must be his lucky numbers.
And I had an idea. Yep, this might be it. So they're giving me 5 numbers here, but they're all set up in such a way that if I want to, I can break them into 3 parts of 3 digits. So I'm gonna try that. My other ideas didn't work out. Okay. The next one was 222, I think. Alright. And the last one is
I guess Slade's gambling includes more than...
731. No? Do I have to maybe reapply them? Okay. There we go. And 731. Nice. And inside there is some stuff.
I saw this thing in my book of secret codes. It's called a grill. Now we just need to find the chart that goes underneath it.
A grill. Okay.
These letters and numbers must refer to Bible passages.
Bible passages. Oops. Okay. Let's see. 969. Okay, so this goes there, I guess. Is this connected? No. Okay, so what's the deal with this stuff? Look at that. How the hell? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I got it finally. I have no idea how this thing works. Maybe I really have to trial and error it, because that's how I'm doing it right now. Seems like there has to be at least one red letter and no other numbers. Or exactly one red letter and no other numbers besides the number you're targeting. and there should be no square on the outside, probably. Okay, this works. Oh, so there could be one empty one, maybe even more, who knows. So my made up rules don't hold. Oh, this guy has so many targets. Dun dun dun.
Unless I'm way off base, this is a hit list, and Slade's planning on taking out all these people. Hold on. There's a highlighted letter in each of the names. If I line them up, it spells Mill Valley. Apparently, there's something waiting for Slade in Mill Valley.
Okay. But also, I'm surprised you don't have a remark about the 10th target. Anyway, so what about this? I don't know, am I supposed to write something down there or what? I think the number was important, 900 and 969 doesn't have anything to do with this. Okay. Also, there's this stuff.
This thing has anagram written all over it. Well, I mean, not literally.
For F. That doesn't combine. Alright. Oh, I don't have the new location.
What topic would you like us to research? A search for information on Larry Hammond has been initiated. What other topic would you like us to research? A search for information on Samuel Jones has been initiated. What other topic would you like us to research? A search for information on Greg Call has been initiated. What other topic would you like us to research?
Wait. I'm not gonna search for the Mill Valley place.
A search for information on Jim Slade's hit list has been initiated. What other topic would you like us to research?
Alright.
Thank you for using the American Information Database. Goodbye.
Yep.
You have a fax.
Larry Hammond won President Young Scientist's Achievement Award, tax return, state occupation as freelance computer programmer, gross income, blah blah, mention of member of Mutant League, current address unavailable. Samuel Q. Jones, Air Force Academy, left Air Force to work for United Nations, top political military analyst, retired, currently residing in Colorado Springs, reported missing in October 19th by family members. Police are investigating. Maybe the lieutenant will have something to say about that. Recall, birth date, location unavailable, raised in blah blah, orphanage, graduate, accepted research position, main developer behind Gideon Enterprises security systems, member Mutant League, United Chess Federation, died on November 15th, 2037 of unknown causes. Whereabouts prior to death unknown. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and ask all these people about this stuff. Why the hell?
Hey, Lieutenant. How's it going? Bust any big-time criminals lately?
We checked out the Big Surf Lodge.
So?
It was vacant.
I swear to you, he was there.
Tell you what, when you track him down, let me know. Until then, get the hell out of my office and stay out!
Okay. So she's not gonna give me any info.
So what can I do for the world's sexiest PI? Oh, I wish I could be of more help.
But those people were mutants, so maybe Jorge would know.
I'm unfamiliar with that name.
Yeah, Jorge and Gideon.
Oh, I wish I could be of more help. I'm afraid I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, how could you? I mean, it's not like a hit list is public knowledge, especially big slades.
So, how is your investigation progressing?
Oh, I'm gonna hit her with the lines again. Let's see.
I found out some things that might interest you.
I thought you might. You seem a resourceful and persistent fellow.
Why, gee, thank you. Also, it kinda adds flavor in the conversations every time I return. I say something different. I like it.
You think Slade's working for Law and Order? If we can prove that, it might help us bring them down. Sure, I know Larry. He's a real piece of work. He's a mutant and lives out in Freetown. I run into him now and again, and he can be a good source of information. I don't know how you'll find him. He's kind of a renegade programmer, moves around a lot. Haven't heard of him. Carl is one of the leaders of the Mutant League. He's a good guy and someone that Law and Order wouldn't mind seeing out of the way.
What the heck not? Why the heck not? Might as well check this place again.
I must confess, I haven't had this many visits in months. And I don't even mind that they're purely professional. Please.
And by only one person.
Now, how can I help you, Mr. Murphy? I'm afraid I haven't heard of it. I don't know who he is. Ah, now there's a name I haven't heard in ages. I hired Sam to work at Gideon some 15 years ago, and after a decade of fruitful labors, we parted amicably. And then sadly we lost touch. Gregory was my right-hand man when I founded Gideon Enterprises, a brilliant programmer. Until recently, he headed a division of the corporation. I heard that Cymon fired him, undoubtedly removing the last traces of my influence.
Probably.
I don't suppose you're here to play chess. What else can I do for you?
Give me some information, brother.
I'm really not familiar with that.
I know, I just like asking it about it.
Hammond's a mutant and he's gone underground. He's on the run from something, but he's not talking about it. I can't tell you how to get a hold of him, and he's probably too spineless to want to talk to you anyway. Don't know him. Don't know him.
Okay. I wanna go to this place now. PF5. Did I check this before? Let's see. Yep, I have that written down.
I thought you might have picked up on the fact that I didn't want to talk to you, Mr. Murphy.
Oh, I did. There's one thing I forgot to tell you. Wanda Peck gave me this number.
So, you're with Capricorn. I thought you people had gotten tired of pestering me.
I thought you would have remembered us talking about it in the previous 8 times.
We know you're a very busy man. A few quick questions and I'll let you get back to ruling the world.
What is it you want this time? Now, this questioning is getting tiresome. Get to the point if you have one. I don't know who that is. Mr. Call was one of the original programmers hired by Mr. Gideon when he formed this corporation. Unfortunately, his abilities became outdated and we were forced to let him go. I have no idea what he's doing now. Totally unfamiliar.
Alright. So, what am I to do now?
Unless I'm way off base, this is a hit list, and Slade's planning on taking out all these people. Hold on. There's a highlighted letter in each of the names. If I line them up, it spells Mill Valley. Apparently, there's something waiting for Slade in Mill Valley.
Can I go there now? Should I go there? I don't know. I haven't seen any Mill Valleys over here. And the only person I haven't talked with is Sylvia. I guess I can also go back to the lodge for whatever reason.
If you've found out anything else, I'll be glad to tell you what I know about it. I don't know what that is. I didn't know most of my father's associates.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Doesn't sound familiar. I didn't know most of my father's associates.
Okay. So I guess a quick save. And back to the lodge.
After examining the contents of the briefcase, it seemed apparent that I needed some other items to break the codes. The only other thing to do was go back to the Big Surf Lodge. Luckily, Slade was nowhere to be found. I suppose I was in the last place he'd be looking for me.
Really? More items?
I don't make a habit of looking through other people's wallets, but I suppose I could make an exception this one time. Unremarkable, but adequate furnishings.
I believe this is just here, so the
cupboards are certainly well stocked.
people can
Never
go
kill
back
someone
to.
on an empty stomach, I always say.
Even though here almost everything is glitched out, graphically at least. Yep, nothing interesting.
Locked.
You would think he wouldn't be clumsy enough to leave things behind, especially important things, but then again, he left his wallet.
No shortage of little tables in here.
So that's interesting.
I guess Slade's gambling includes more than roulette.
I don't know, the only reasonable thing there seems that number and that's it. I don't remember if I'm supposed to write something down or not.
What topic would you like us to research?
There's nothing new to research.
Thank you for using the American Information
Also,
Database.
this one girl,
Goodbye.
one that said she knew the guy, but she didn't give me any locations. So what's up with that?
You're back again. What can I do for you this time? Sure, I know Larry. He's a real piece of work. He's a mutant and lives out in Freetown. I run into him now and again, and he can be a good source of information. I don't know how you'll find him. He's kind of a renegade programmer, moves around a lot.
Okay. Never mind then, I know what else am I supposed to do. Nothing new back in this place. Oh, I guess I haven't used this card. Can I use it here, maybe?
Wrong pass card.
Wrong passcard. So every single one of those
Pass card reader's hooked up.
goes
Now I'll
with
need
the
to scan the
specific
pass card.
Okay. Well, at this point, I guess I'll use some help locating a bunch of people, decoding the note from Big Jim Slade's briefcase. Huh? Didn't I do that already? Examine the coded note and Bible. I don't know if that it. I guess I'm supposed to write something down here. That it?
Maybe the key goes to box 969 in the Mill Valley post office.
Alright. Do I have a location now? Yes, I do. Should also save, just in case.
Now that I knew the location of the drop point, I drove like a maniac to the Mill Valley post office. I kept my eyes peeled, but either Slade hadn't used this place as a drop point before, or he was elsewhere looking for something to kill. I didn't want to take any chances, though, so I hurried inside and found box 969. There were 2 items in the post office box: a level 1 pass card for access into the Law and Order Party headquarters, and what had to be Slade's new orders. Unfortunately, I didn't have any way to decode them, not yet at any rate. I remembered that Sylvia had mentioned going out that night. Since I knew her name was on Slade's hit list, it might be a good idea to keep her under wraps for a while.
Tex, I'm so sorry. I got so wrapped up in your story that I completely lost track of time.
Well, I've been told I have that effect on women. Some sort of hypnotic power.
Whatever you say, sweetie. But seriously, we really have to hurry. It's not easy getting reservations at the Golden Pagoda.
Well, as you know, I take the driving laws very seriously, so excessive speed is really out of the question. However, I know a shortcut.
This isn't the way home. Where are you taking me?
Found out some information just before I picked you up for dinner.
That you're falling madly in love with me?
I have reason to believe you're in the same danger your father was.
Why?
Well, I'm not sure exactly, but I'm checking into it. Regardless, I'm really nervous about your safety, and I think you ought to stay at the warehouse where your father was working.
But nothing's happened to me.
That doesn't mean nothing will. And besides, it reflects very poorly on me if my clients get bumped off during a case.
Plus, I couldn't pay you if I were dead, huh?
Now, that's a very good point.
You're such a tough guy. Okay. I'll lay low for a few days if you want me to. But only because I don't want you to worry.
Ah, there's one.
Hydrant.
There's one.
Handicapped. Actually, I think you could make a case for that one.
Oh, that is very funny. Ah, right there, right in front of the restaurant.
Okay.
Told you.
next? Tell me the rest of the story.
Well, after I took Sylvia back to the warehouse, I decided to go over the Law and Order party. Well, it was after midnight, so I figured nobody'd be around. I could ransack the place. Unfortunately, I was wrong.
Excuse me, sir, but this premises has been secured for the evening. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave immediately.
Uh-oh.
Sheesh, I'm late again, aren't I? Missed the whole rally. Do you have any beer left?
Okay, wise guy, get your hands up where I can see them.
Now, calm down, Barney. Look, put the rod away before I call Robert Knott and get you sent back to Kmart.
I don't care if you work for the NSA. I'm gonna need to see some ID.
Okay, do I have any ID? I don't even know what am I gonna say here.
Hey, man, I was just following orders. I was told to use this pass card to get in.
Okay.
We all got orders. It'll take just a second to write down this badge number. There's coffee if you like.
Alright. So, what is his cup?
Well, someone around here is a heavy coffee drinker, and I'm betting it's our night watchman. Probably has to keep sipping it all night to stay awake.
Let's see, what do we have here?
Well, that won't work.
What?
What the hell are you doing?
Contact problem. Got it on again, though.
The coffee was spiked. I figured I should find a logical place to hide and wait for the Mickey to work its magic.
Okay. Logical is the stretch though.
Nice clean lines, but not particularly comfy. It's Mr. Bill in a blender. Well, I wish I had time to borrow these. They'd look great with my office decor. Lots of tables around here. It's like a showroom. Sometimes, you just gotta go. A locked emergency exit. I don't think I need to get in that door. Lots of tables around here. It's like a showroom. the night watchman was taking a nap, my first priority was to decode Slade's orders. I needed to find some kind of cipher with a lot of letters on it, and it had to be somewhere inside Law and Order. Well, I doubt this towel's been sanitized for my protection. They didn't spare any expense in this bathroom. Even the graffiti is top of the line. They didn't spare any expense in this bathroom. Even the graffiti is top of the line. Now, this telephone's perfect for the man who's just got to go. It's a piece of propaganda from your friends at Law and Order. Another coded message. I've seen this type before. I need to find a reference document and count the letters in it. Unfortunately, I have no idea which document to use, though I'm guessing it's something related to the Law and Order party.
Count the letters in it? Oh man, that doesn't sound fun. Let's see. Meet the candidate. My name is Robert Knott, and I am the Law and Order Party's candidate for governor of the state of California. For those of you who would ask why should Robert Knott receive my vote, I would ask you a question or two. Do you think our streets are safe? Is the current administration doing everything it can to clean up our cities, streamline the justice system, and impose stiff punishments to anyone who breaks the law? Are you fed up with having so much of your hard-earned dollars going to support illegal aliens, welfare recipients, and convicts? Are you worried about what kind of future your children will grow up in? If you answer yes to any of these questions, then I have a message for you. The Law and Order Party's goal is to take back our country. You and I have worked long and hard to achieve the American dream, only to be slapped in the face by our own government. Almost a third of our legal citizens are burdened with a lower standard of living than the average federal prisoner. 25% of the workforce is insulted by a welfare system run amok, which provides a higher income for doing absolutely nothing. Illegal aliens receive medical and educational benefits that they don't pay a cent for. You do. A vote for me is a vote for law and order. It's time to lay down the law and take back our country. Sincerely, Robert Knott. And on their page it says, the Law and Order Party headquarters is located at 50 Skyline Boulevard in downtown New San Francisco. Is the hub of activities for the political party of the future. The reception hall, shown below, hosts dozens of events each month, from fundraising dinners to Boy Scout award ceremonies. The public is welcome Monday through Friday 9 to 5 for free tours and presentations. Alright, anything else? Something in here.
It's a piece of propaganda from your friends at Law and Order.
The same? Not quite. The Law and Order credo. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive for these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that government long established should not be charged for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a strong trend of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, and to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Very well.
I think I can dispense with these things. If more people would just use common sense, signs like this wouldn't even be necessary.
Yeah, well,
I guess
yeah,
law and order
someone
doesn't
else.
have any use for mirrors, seeing as how they're a bunch of vampires anyway.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I forgot to ask him whether he wanted one lump or two with his coffee.
Nice.
Oh, I don't think our friend here needs his keys for a while. At least until he's done with his nap.
Yep, at least for a while.
Well, someone around here's a heavy coffee drinker, and I'm betting it's our night watchman. Probably has to keep sipping it all night to stay awake.
Oh, same line.
This door's locked.
I don't think I need to go there.
Probably even nicer than the men's room, but good form prevents me from checking. Oh, it's the ID badge I handed to the guard. A Law and Order ID badge. This was probably left here to give Slade access into party headquarters, though I'm guessing it might work for me just as well.
Yeah, but that's not... Anyway.
Lots of tables around here. It's like a showroom. Now there's probably nothing in there I need. This door's locked.
Poppies. Poppies will make them sleep.
Wow.
Probably even nicer than the men's room, but good. No chance of getting in here.
I don't think this can be opened with a key. Yes, it can.
As soon as I entered Robert Knott's office, I heard the familiar beeping sound coming from a panel on the wall by the door.
Oh no.
It was an alarm countdown. Even with the night watchman knocked out, I figured setting off an alarm would not be good. Someday, I'll have a quality vid phone like this one. Looks like I need to enter a password, and I don't have a whole lot of time to do it. A Law and Order ID badge. Another... Unless I'm... Mr. Knott seems to have a long, pointy thing fetish. This lizard painting seems inconsistent with Knott's interior decorating motif. Post it. I should see what Mr. Knott was reminding himself to do. I wonder what's at this address. Maybe it's where Robert Knott's hiding out. The password for Knott's office alarm turned out to be contained in the coded orders I'd gotten from the Mill Valley post office box.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm sure he's read all these books.
Much skeptical? Okay.
Well, these must be from the Billy Barty collection. That key might be useful. Haven't seen a coat rack like this since the 2nd grade. Displays like this can be double-edged swords.
Oh.
I wonder what's at this address. Maybe it's where Robert Knott's hiding out. Yeah, and maybe I'm the Queen of England. But I guess I'd be stupid not to check it out.
Wait, it disappeared?
The password for Knott's office alarm turned out to be contained in the coded orders I'd gotten from the Mill Valley post office box.
Yeah, but I still don't know how to decode it. Can I? Okay.
Now there's probably nothing in there I need.
Is it still going? I got to...
No chance of getting in here. Doesn't look like Knott has much use for his computer. It's not even plugged in. Knott's got his chair cranked up nice and high. Poor little guy. You just can't. Well, that's not gonna work.
Alright. Oh, that thingy. Okay, well apparently I can't count. This makes no sense. I guess I skipped some rows. I'm gonna count it again in a sec.
I wonder what's at this address. Maybe it's where Robert Knott's hiding out. Yeah, and maybe I'm the Queen of England. But I guess it'd be stupid not to check it out.
Alright, here goes again.
Well, I guess Robert Knott isn't behind the hit list. He's on top of it. Slade's not gonna get this message, but that'll only be temporary. If I can find Knott and warn him off, maybe he'll tell me what's going on here.
Okay, well I finally got it. Alright.
Well, these must be from the Billy Barty collection. Well, Mr. Knott seems to have a long, pointy thing fetish. Unless I'm way off base, this is a hit list, and Slade's planning on taking out all these people. Hold on. This lizard painting seems inconsistent with Knott's interior decorating motif. Maybe it's his favorite thing to skewer. Something tells me I should crack this thing. Maybe there's a clue to the combination somewhere around here.
Maybe there is.
Oh, I'm sure he's read all these books. Oh, I'm sure he's read all these books.
A little interesting.
Any photo kept in a safe has to be worth looking at. Silvio, with Frank shimming. Something tells me my client knows a lot more about what's going on than she says she does.
Okay, that's interesting. I guess now I have more of a purpose to go and speak to her.
Oh, I'm sure he's read all these books.
Oh, look at this.
Looks like Mr. Knott pulled somebody's file. Looks like Robert Knott was doing some checking up on John Klaus. Interesting.
Dear Robert, enclosed is a copy of Capricorn's file on John Klaus. The background information is fairly straightforward. His scholastic history and medical training are impressive, but he is well connected. He has no criminal record, no real dirt of any kind. I don't doubt your suspicions that he has worked his way into the upper levels of law and order, but he's been careful not to leave a trail behind. I have some ins to Illinois, and I'll see what they can dig up on Klaus. Take care of yourself, Wanda. Okay,
These look like they just might open.
nothing here.
Doesn't look like Knott has much use for his computer. It's not even plugged in.
Not even plugged in.
If I ever find Mr. Knott, I'm gonna make a point of asking him about his little fixation. Well, I wonder what kind of birdie this is. A finch, maybe. I haven't seen a coat rack like this since the 2nd grade. Displays like this can be double-edged swords.
Yep, especially in this case. I know this is the time. Yeah, it's it's supposed to say time. It's not very low resolution, but I'm pretty sure that's that. So who should I call?
Looks like Robert Knott was doing some checking up on... Well, I guess Robert Knott isn't behind it. Silvio. Oh, I'm sure he's read all these books. Certainly appears to be a lamp. Knott's got his chair cranked up nice and high. Poor little guy. You just can't buy height. Oh, I'm sure he's read all these books. A marble top. Pricey. That doesn't seem to do anything.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
These double doors lead into a large room, maybe a reception area. Well, that won't work. These double doors lead into a locked. Lots of tables around here. It's like a showroom. There must be hidden cameras in all the rooms. This could be a problem with a conscious security guard hanging around. No chance of getting in here.
Okay, well, I'm out of ideas.
Well, I guess Robert Knott isn't behind the hit list. He's on top of it. Slade's not gonna get this message, but that'll only be temporary. If I can find Knott and warn him off, maybe he'll tell me what's going on here.
I'm not sure if I should leave this place without cracking the code.
A Law and Order ID badge. This was... Question is,
Well, either I'm not seeing anything or something, or maybe I really have to leave.
oh, I'm sure he's read all these books.
I think you were supposed to solve it now, but I could be wrong. Can I maybe type Piranha on the phone? Nope, nothing happens. It needs like 3 more digits.
I haven't seen a coat rack like this since the 2nd grade. Well, there's probably nothing in there I need. A locked emergency exit. I don't think I need to get in that door. I've seen used tablecloths with more artistic value. Lots of tables around here. It's like a showroom. Locked. I'll need the Law and Order ID badge in order to open this door. I wasn't sure when I'd get another chance to wander freely around the Law and Order Party headquarters, so I decided to take another look around.
Yeah, alright. That pretty much says it all.
Well, I wish I had time to borrow these. They'd look great with my office decor.
It makes sense. I just can't think of anything.
Oh, I'm sure he's read all these books.
Yep. All of them.
Certainly appears to be a lamp. I haven't seen a coat rack like this since the 2nd grade. Looks like Robert Knott was doing some checking up on John Klaus. Interesting.
Alright, well, let's see what am I missing. In the men's room, use the key on locker number 17. Oh, so that's what this key was for. I thought it was for another post office box.
This looks like the kind of index card I keep my Cajun recipes on. This doesn't look like any name I've seen in a Rolodex. Maybe it's a code. I guess I should play with it a bit.
Yeah, this is my telephone backwards. Question is the number backwards? I guess we're about to find out.
Well, that's not gonna work.
Well, I have to remember all of this.
This doesn't look like any name I've seen in a Rolodex. Maybe it's a code. I guess I should play with it a bit.
Okay.
That doesn't seem to do anything.
Nope, doesn't seem to do anything. If I start typing, it doesn't stay. Nice. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I have to combine with anything now that I have anything really of such importance or that has a connection.
This doesn't look like any name I've seen in a Rolodex. Maybe it's a code. I guess I should play with it a bit.
Okay, 36647353896. Yeah, 36647353896. Let's see what happens. I completely forgot it at the end. 496? No.
This doesn't look like any name I've seen in a Rolodex.
896.
Maybe it's a code. I guess I should play with it a
Oh,
bit.
it's 353. 36647353896. Huh. Sounds like one digit too much.
This doesn't look like any name I've seen in a Rolodex. Maybe it's a code. I guess I should play with it a bit.
Open Sesame? Okay. That's it. Ah. So I now have to.
Well, that won't work.
I have to learn which letter corresponds to which number on the phone pad. So let's see. All right, 7263. Sure. Why is it repeated though? Oh, because several letters are in the same digit. Yeah. All right. 673
A CD. And I'm guessing it's not the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
Nope.
Whatever's on this disc can't be good for the Law and Order party. Maybe this explains why Robert Knott's on the chopping block. I'll bet Wanda would do just about anything for this little tortilla.
You don't say.
I tried to call Wanda Peck but couldn't reach her. But I had that mystery address from Knott's office, so I decided to check it out and try Wanda later.
No you didn't. You said to go back to your office, save the game, and then go to the mystery address.
That mystery address turned out to be a seedy-looking tavern on the waterfront. Even had a condemned sign plastered across the front door.
Well, you should have felt right at home.
Oh, that's funny. But what happened next wasn't. Despite a clear warning from my spider sense, I walked around back and found an open door. finally regained consciousness, it felt like I'd been trying to drink my own body weight in cheap gin.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, bando for two.
Thank you. May I check your coat?
You know, I think I'll keep it, thank you.
Okay.
Is it less than $3? Oh, that's all right. That wasn't the worst of it, though. I had this ripping pain inside my head. I mean, I was munching ibuprofen tablets like they were Reese's Pieces. That didn't stop the blinding light I was getting behind my eyes or the pain I had in my head.
Did you see a doctor?
No, just the light flashes, actually.
Come, I'll take you to your seats.
Oh, thank you.
Here are your seats. We'll have to prepare another table for you since you were late this evening. Can I get your drink?
I don't think so. Why don't we just wait?
Certainly.
Oh, this must be the penalty box.
So, finish telling me about Linsky.
Okay. Well, the thought occurred to me that Carl Linsky might have gone through the same thing I was going through. I mean, you remember I told you he had that little scar on the back of his neck? Well, it wasn't so hard for me to envision jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge just to get away from the pain.
What had they done to you?
Well, I had no idea other than I got beat up really good. I didn't realize at the time the clock was ticking and that I had less than 48 hours to live.
What did you do?
Well, I was only halfway up a long series of steps. The next one was to find Robert Knott because he and I were on the same sinking ship together. Like my skull was full of razor blades, I found a pay vid phone and tried Wanda Peck again. This time she answered. I told her I had something she'd want to see, so she agreed to meet me at the Capricorn building.
It was so important that you wanted to meet me after hours.
I've got something that might interest even you.
I'm listening.
This disc is from Robert Knott's office.
How'd you get that?
Off the record, I stole it. Robert Knott's fallen out of favor with the Law and Order Party, and for all I know, he could be dead. But if he's alive, I want to know where he is.
Well, off the record, I know Robert personally. I like him. I don't know where he is, but I can give you the best guess I have. He owns a cabin up north, which no one knows about. Well, almost no one. I'll give you directions. Wait here.
Wanda gave me the direction to Robert Knott's cabin. I wanted to leave right away, but I was too beat. Went back to the office and I slept for a while.
Where was the cabin?
It was up north, way out in the woods. In fact, I didn't even find it until after dark.
Well, was he there?
No, but I could tell someone had been there recently. I got inside and started looking around for something that might tell me where Knott was hiding out. I figured if I warned him about Slade, he might tell me what the hell was going on with Law and Order. Lights were on inside the cabin. I knocked on the door, but there was no answer, so I let myself in. Nothing nicer than a relaxing evening in front of the fire with a jug of hooch at your elbow. The furniture's a little rustic for me. Perfect log for a romantic evening by the fire. Large, light, and dry as Mom's pot roast. Nothing touches my artistic soul like stick figures etched on a flap of animal skin.
Wait, what? Okay.
It must be Goofy of the Anasazi. A bunch of little fishies, and what's this? A small metal box. I guess I should check it out. Uh-oh. Those aren't fishies, they're piranhas. Looks like I'll have to find an industrial-strength fishing pole.
I guess so.
Well, like the stone said, wild horses couldn't drag me away. From ransacking the cabin, that is. This picture was hung on a bent nail. I suppose a regular hook just wouldn't do for an amateur frontiersman like Mr. Knott. Bar stools. Non-kosher dills. My favorites. They're bottled with pork rinds. Well, it's a good old-fashioned monkey wrench. Mini torch. There's gotta be some way I can use this. Water purifying hose made of a sturdy space-age metal. Now, this hose is screwed down pretty tight. I need to find some sort of unscrewer thing.
Will this work? Oh my god, it does.
You could light a cigarette from across the table with this baby. Frigidaire Bowhunter model. Just big enough to hold a 12-pack and a big bag of jerky. Frontier armoire. Probably full of union suits and coonskin caps. I'll need to find a little something before I can open this. Under a Killing Moon. Now that would be a great title for something.
Well then, I wonder what could that be. Well, it doesn't seem like there's something under the Killing Moon.
The furniture's a little rustic for me. This quilt makes me want to find a bunch of hubcaps and have a game of super checkers.
What the heck are they having below this? Wow. The things you see when there are hacks.
The furniture's a little rustic for me. This quilt makes me want to find a bunch of hubcaps and have a game of super checkers. Looks like a Mayan bird bath towel. This must be the back door. No need to check out the yard. These seem pretty self-explanatory. A bunch of little fishies, and what's this? Robert Knott's top-level ID badge. This might give me access to someplace special in Law and Order Party headquarters.
Okay. What about a key? Nothing?
Fireplace like this would do wonders for my love life. Of course, so would going into politics. This is really kind of gruesome when you think about it. Nothing nicer than a relaxing evening in front of the fire with a jug of hooch at your elbow. These are some big old cabinets. Well, there's nothing like a length of good, sturdy rope.
Alright. I didn't think I could open those.
I'll need to find a little something before I can open this.
Yep, these two go together.
I'll need to find a little something before I can open this.
This? Seems kind of far-fetched.
I'll need to find a little something before I can open this. I'll need to find a little something before I can open this. Frontier armoire, probably full of union suits and coonskin caps.
Okay.
Well, I guess Knott's gonna be gone for a while. Maybe I should come back later.
Ah, so this is the giveaway.
Well, I wasn't expecting any company, but as long as you're here.
What the hell's going on here?
I'm from the Humane Society, and we've had some complaints against piranha abuse. Near as I can tell, you've been feeding them nothing but metal boxes, sicko.
What'd you do with my box?
Nice. Oh, by the way, did you find the box? You got any boxes? Anyway.
Well, I fished it out. I mean, for all I knew, your buddies at Law & Order had already rubbed you out. Which is what they're planning on doing, by the way.
Tell me something I don't know.
Well, as you may or may not know, a lot of people have been dying lately of self-inflicted and/or accidental causes. And you and I just might be next in line.
Anything else?
All right. I'm working with a Capricorn op named Wanda Peck.
So who the hell are you? And what's your relationship to Wanda Peck?
Well, there's a rat's nest at Law & Order party. And for different reasons, we both want to find it.
You don't say. Well, that makes 3 of us.
You really think you're safe here?
It's as good a place as any. Doesn't really matter anyway. They're gonna find me sooner or later. Actually, my own death is not exactly high on my wish list of things I'd like to happen to me. But I'll tell you one thing. They know I'm not gonna give up without a fight.
So tell me something if you don't mind. But how does someone go from being the Law & Order party candidate to the top of their things to kill list?
A candidate is sugar coating on a pill. The party sets an agenda, and all I do is try to make it a little easier for the public to swallow.
What's Law and Order trying to force feed us?
What'd you say your name was?
Murphy. Tex Murphy.
Well, you gotta believe what I'm gonna tell you, Tex.
Why not? I'm pretty gullible.
Law and Order has this plan. They're gonna put implants into everybody. It's gonna allow them to identify, track, and eventually control the whole population.
They really believe they could get away with that?
They know it.
Listen, maybe you can answer something that's really bothering me. If Law and Order is so powerful, why are they going around killing everybody?
Call. Greg Call. They're trying to kill anyone who has ties to him. He used to work for Gideon Enterprises.
Well, how about I go talk to Frank Shimming?
Shimming? Oh, he's squarely in the camp of Law and Order.
Well, maybe he's behind this whole thing. I mean, Shimming could be the Overlord.
You know about Overlord, too?
At this point, I started to smell gas.
Let me guess. You grabbed a couple of chili dogs for the flight up.
Not that kind. One of the bullets had hit the stove. Now the whole cabin was being flooded with gas. Who are those guys? Probably a hit squad. Looks like they accomplished their task. Well, it took a couple of slugs before he hit the floor. An old-fashioned key. This might go to that frontier armoire in the bedroom.
Indeed.
Well, Nott didn't put up much of a fight. What's this? Something fell out of his pocket when he hit the floor.
Ah, the graphics are all...
Of course, that idea would have just gotten me killed. My second approach was much better.
Oh, I'm being timed here? Great, I didn't even save anything. No, actually, I think I have everything. Let's go for it.
I'm from the Humane Society. Well, I fished it out. Well, as you may... All right.
Who are those guys?
Oh, I probably don't have to stand up.
A coat and hat. A little small for me, but I might be able to get some use out of them.
How?
I wish they'd hit that piranha tank. Not gonna work. I can hear voices out back. Those crafty devils have thought of everything.
We know you're in there!
Looks like a deflated life raft or something.
Oh, okay. So that was the thing you can pick up. It's just an illustration.
Sounds like you'd worked with blow-up dolls before.
Hey, I have never been that lonely. But at the time, I had no one else to turn to. Yeah, she looks a lot more lifelike with clothes on. You could light a cigarette from across the table with this. Smell of gas is getting stronger. One of those bullets creates a big spark. I'm gonna go up like a Roman candle.
Hey, I've got a proposition for you.
Wait, what?
A girlfriend would like to meet you.
Show us the girl!
Hi, boys. Come on in, let's have a party. I got s'mores.
Okay, we're coming in.
I love hunters.
That doesn't seem to do anything.
Wait, where is the gas coming from?
Smells like a bullet caught the gas line. One spark and I'm a briquette. That won't work. Well, that's not gonna work.
Okay, what about that?
It's just a rubber doll!
There we go.
Well, I had a few singed hairs, but I was okay. Little did I know, things were about to really heat up.
Ooh, it sounds like Sylvia's about to make another appearance.
That's a good guess. After I got out of Knott's Inferno, I decided to fly back to Linsky's warehouse, check up on my client.
but she wasn't there.
Have I told you this part of the story before?
Oh, no, it's just that, well, I know how women work.
Well, that makes one of us anyway. So she's not at the warehouse. I fly over to her apartment. She's not there either. So I get in my speeder. I fly back to my office. I walk in the door.
And she's waiting for you.
Yeah.
Probably wearing something very nice.
To tell you the truth, I did not even notice.
Oh, of course not. So then she says, "Hello, handsome."
Needless to say, I was very, very upset with her. I thought we agreed that you would stay at the warehouse.
I know, but I started worrying something would happen to you. I don't feel very comfortable about being alone right now.
Sylvia, this thing is dangerous, and I don't think you realize how dangerous it is.
Well, tell me. I'm paying your tab after all.
Yeah, sure, bring business into this.
Well, that's what it is, isn't it? Am I not just a client? There were plenty before me, and there will be plenty after me.
That's what I tell myself.
What do you mean by that?
You know what I mean by that.
Tell me.
There's this thing. It's called the rules of a PI. And the number one rule is, don't fall for a client.
That wouldn't happen, would it?
Yeah, well, I'm holding you personally responsible for making me even think twice about it.
I feel so guilty.
Yeah, well, you should.
So tell me, are there any rules about kissing a client?
That falls squarely under Rule 1.
The rule that you're thinking twice about. So, break a rule. How many rules are there?
37 so far.
So 36 out of 37, that's not so bad. And I won't tell a soul.
Sounds like you were just about ready to go into the deep fryer.
No, it's more like a quick sear, followed by a slow simmer. Listen, Sylvia, it has been an incredibly long day, and my resistance is just about 0. So if you will take 10 paces back, promise to quit smelling so good. I promise you that when this is over, look into the possibility. We got a deal.
Okay, I'll be good. But I'll hold you to that promise.
I've got a cot in the other room. You take that and I'll sleep here.
Sweet dreams.
That's not gonna be hard.
Do you miss her?
Oh, yeah. This again. You know, as soon as I lose some weight, I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't think I need to be reminded anymore. No, I don't think I do.
Good. Because I'm very selfish, you know.
That's one of the things that really attracts me to you.
Boy, that makes me happy to hear it. So now that you've described to me just about every temptation a man can stand, what happens next?
Nothing happened? Nothing happened, okay? Actually, I flew Sylvia back to the warehouse.
Good.
I thought you'd like that part. I went back to the office and I had a call.
You find the chess move?
I did. It was in the design of Val Davis's pass card. Look, I'm ready to meet with you. Just tell me when and where.
It isn't safe yet, but I have another lead for you. Find out about Greg Call.
Who's Greg Call?
He was the lead programmer on the STG project. He knew about Overlord.
Well, how do I find him? Greg Call. Overlord. Either one.
Call is dead.
Well, that's gonna make him easy to find.
Call suspected that someone on the inside was selling out the STG project. For that reason, he relocated to a secret base of operation. If you find that, all your questions will be answered.
Any hints on how I'm supposed to do that?
The police were warned that Call might turn up dead. They may have found something that could lead you to where he was working. Oh, I gotta go.
So Greg Call was the head of the STG project.
Yeah, but he was the dead head.
So now you went back to see Detective Clements, right?
Good guess. Getting ready for your hunter safety course there, Lieutenant?
I thought I told you to stay the hell out of my office.
Please. Eve. I'm walking in here on my hands and knees. I've just about cracked this case, but I need your help to finish it.
All right? But this is it. No more chances. Never heard of it. I haven't got any information on that. Never heard of him. I don't have a lot of time to waste, Murphy. How do you find out about these people? He died a few days ago. We would have chalked it up to natural causes. An aneurysm, maybe. Except we got an anonymous tip through 911 the day before he died. Tipster said that if he died, we should perform an autopsy. It only turned up one unusual thing. A small capsule planted under the skin. Inside was a plastic tag with markings on it. We couldn't make heads or tails of it. Maybe you should give it a try.
Oh, she's in the warehouse. And I can go there. Nice.
So what can I do for the world's sexiest PI? Well, of course I recognize Sylvia, but I don't know the man with her. Could have been just about anyone, I suppose.
Aha.
Curious. This UPEX package wasn't here before.
Oops.
It appears to be a Braille alphabet.
Oh, what now? New information. Murphy has been introduced to the Overseer. Go use two codes. Braille alphabet. Every third or fourth word within a message, usually starting with the name of or other first word. Usually starting with the name or other first word. What? Okay.
Nexus? What does that stand for?
I'm not sure it stood for anything. But I surmised that it had to do with Greg Call's secret base of operations. Now I had to ask around to see if anyone knew about it. You'll never guess who did.
Who did?
Knott's desk is unbelievable. You gave us just what we needed to break open Law and Order. Now, how can I help you?
Yeah, he's a little bit dead now. Anyway.
Can't help you there.
Sylvia would know, maybe? Really? Is it her?
We are aware that Frank Schimming has a taste for young ladies. It's one way we've gotten inside his inner circle.
Oh. But can I even talk to her? She's not here.
So what can I do for the world's sexiest PI?
I'll try them all one by one.
I can't really help you there.
I haven't got any information on that.
Yep, as much. Just being careful. Careful and thorough.
You caught me at the last moment, Mr. Murphy. I was preparing to go abroad.
That sounds good. You know, I've heard Amsterdam is great.
Everything you've heard is true. I highly recommend it. Now, I think I can spare you a few moments before I leave. Well, this photo concerns me, but I prefer not to discuss it if you don't mind. Your investigation has certainly got you into some obscure channels. Years ago, well after the government signed the UNGP treaty, Gideon Enterprises bought the rights to utilize dozens of abandoned government installations. Nexus was the code name for an underground military facility located in Washington State near Mount Shasta. I don't believe we ever used the location.
Yeah, that's right. As soon as he opened his mouth, I remembered he was his, what did he say, right hand or something like that. They were real good buddies at Gideon Enterprises. So it makes sense.
Nexus base took a long time to find, and I won't bore you with the details, but the installation looked totally derelict from the outside. Once I found a way inside, I entered an underground laboratory that was brand new, state-of-the-art.
Was there anyone there?
No, but as soon as I stepped inside, I did hear a voice.
Stand by for system scan.
those men that jumped you had put some sort of implant into your head.
Exactly. And it seemed like I was in the best possible place to do something to remove it. I started looking around with just that in mind.
Just that in mind. No pun intended, I'm sure.
Not at all. Alright, so this begs for a save. At least one.
Some kind of chart. Maybe watching all those ER reruns will finally pay off.
Yeah, right.
If the implant I'm carrying around is on this list, it must be number P333. Now I need to figure out which of the kamikaze implants will neutralize it.
Oh yeah, that was mentioned in one of the letters. P333 initiates a photoreagent process tethering to target biomolecules, peptides, enzymes, etc., and inducing specific nerve cells to grow into a grid pattern. Nerve cells are then connected to signal processors which control specific groups of neurons, can be used to enhance brain functions, memory, mood, and/or sensory perception. Yeah, there it is. Murphy has been introduced to the Overseer P333. That's from the envelope I found at the Fresno office. Whatever it's called.
Oh, there's a card on the clipboard.
Gideon Enterprise. And a similar sort kind of thingy, like in Robert Knott's office.
Implant removal station. Well, the IRS has always been good at removing everything else from me. The special Mengele model syringe. Link's LS mug. I've got to play that one of these days. Appears to be a recently clipped newspaper article.
USF professor dies in crash. Valerie H. Davis, 48, professor of physiology at the University of San Francisco, died in a one-vehicle speeder crash Tuesday evening. Witnesses said the speeder veered out of control without apparent cause and struck a power line. The victim, who was traveling alone, was pronounced dead at the scene. Police found no evidence of mechanical failure and have also ruled out alcohol and drugs as factors in the accident. A bite out of crime. Charlie Gates, grandson to the well-known Bill Gates, was indicted Wednesday for what were term violations of the Redmond Way. Apparently, Charlie broke into a storage facility for obsolete computer software, awaiting a different interface in a fresh new release to the public, situated in some arcane something, I don't know. At this point I'm making up words. Anyway.
Man, talk about wired for sound. Art Garfunkel could rock on these speakers. Man, talk about wired for sound. Art Garfunkel could rock on these speakers.
Okay, so let's see this note again.
If the implant I'm carrying around is on this list, it must be number P333. Now I need to figure out which of the kamikaze implants will neutralize it.
Yeah, and each kamikaze implant neutralizes a certain type of implants. Oh, and some of them are here, like XCO. So I need the one that goes for P implants, which is N216. But where can I find that?
Hey, slushy machines. STG must have bought these pass card readers in bulk.
Oh, do you think? You think that's for the F card?
Pass card reader's hooked up. Now I'll need to scan the pass card. Wrong pass card.
Wrong pass card. Okay.
Well, this looks like an autoclave. It's used for storing items in a sterile environment. Well, this looks like an autoclave. It's like an autoclave. It's used for a security card reader. Must be for the autoclave.
Oh wait.
That's the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, but it doesn't show the number anymore. Over here it says N216 and all the rest.
That's the one I'm looking for.
And funnily enough, there is only one of those. Only one bottle. Wow.
I guess Greg Call must have designed the solution to neutralize the Overseer implants. Now I have to find a way to inject it into my bloodstream.
And then the fun begins.
You injected yourself with that thing?
I had to. Then I went into the scanning booth, and the fun was just starting.
Yep. Also the face. Now look, making all the saves.
The green diamond must indicate the location of the P333 implant. I have to move the kamikaze implant into one of the blood vessels where it will appear as a blue cross. Then, I have to navigate it until it reaches the implant and neutralizes it. Uh-oh. Those flashing dots look like trouble. Must represent antibodies. And I guess they're out to get rid of the new infection. I'd better steer clear. I'm just kidding. There was a way to do it. I just had to find it.
I guess so. Oh, I don't even have to reload?
The green diamond must indicate the location of the P333 implant. I have to move the kamikaze implant into one of the blood vessels where it will appear as a blue cross. Then, I have to navigate it until it reaches the implant and neutralizes it.
Yeah, but navigating through this is a little bit tough. I can't even point in the actual thing to kind of try and track a path.
Uh-oh. Those flashing dots look like trouble. Must represent antibodies. And I guess they're out to get rid of the new infection. I'd better steer clear.
Okay, seems like I've been bamboozled again. Yeah, I couldn't be here for a while, unfortunately.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, well, another day, another crash. Okay, it's a nice spot, I guess.
The green diamond must
And then I
indicate the
failed anyway.
location of the P333 implant. I
There
have to move
wasn't
the
enough
kamikaze implant
to
into one of the
fail. It
blood
had to crash
vessels where it will
to.
appear as a blue cross.
Oh well.
Then, I have to navigate it until it reaches the implant and neutralizes it.
Alright, here we go again.
Uh-oh. Those flashing dots look like trouble. Must represent antibodies. And I guess they're out to get rid of the new infection. I'd better steer clear.
Wait, how did I get? Oh, okay. Seems like I'm going in circles.
I'm just kidding. There was a way to do it. I just had to find it.
There was a way to do it. You just had to
The
crash.
green diamond must indicate the location of the P333 implant.
There's no skipping
I
this.
have to move the kamikaze implant into one of the blood vessels where it will appear as a blue cross. Then, I have to navigate it until it reaches the implant and neutralizes it.
I kind of see, like somewhat see where I have to go, but I can't trace it to any exit. Because everything's so convoluted, and I can't
Uh-oh.
seem
Those
to
flashing dots look like trouble.
be able
Must
to find a
represent
way to get
antibodies.
on
And I guess
that
they're out to get rid of the new infection. I'd better steer clear.
Wait, is this a thing? Can I? Nope, not quite.
I'm just...
Oh, they're loaded for me, nice.
The green diamond must indicate the location of the P333 implant. I have to move the kamikaze implant into one of the blood vessels where it will appear as a blue cross. Then, I have to navigate it until it reaches the implant and neutralizes it.
I tried so many ways.
Uh-oh. Those flashing dots look like trouble. Must represent antibodies. And I guess they're out to get rid of the new infection. I'd better steer clear. I'm just kidding. There was a way to do it. I just had to find it. The green diamond must indicate the location of the P333 implant. I have to move the kamikaze implant into one of the blood vessels where it will appear as a blue cross. Then, I have to navigate it until it reaches the implant and neutralizes it.
I think I had to start somewhere here, the way I did last time, but... yeah.
Uh-oh. Those flashing dots look like trouble. Must represent antibodies. I guess they're out to get rid of the new infection. I'd better steer clear.
There it is. Finally.
I'd neutralized the overseer chip, which someone had designed to be fatal in my case, or a controlling device to others. I still had no idea who was pulling the strings, but as I stepped out of the removal station, I heard sounds just outside the main entrance. I ducked behind a display panel and waited to see who it was.
Hello? Hello? Okay. I'm really not very good with surprises.
Well, it isn't my mystery man. What's your name?
Larry Hammond. I would have told you earlier, but I have some serious trust issues going on. With all that's happened, I've got the right to be a little paranoid.
Yeah, I guess you do. You haven't been using the code name Poison Pawn, have you?
No. Why?
That's not important. How'd you get here?
I followed you. I wanted to make sure you came here alone.
Well, I hope you were more careful about being followed than I was.
Yeah, I have a very strong sense of self-preservation. I even brush my teeth carefully.
Yeah, it shows. Why don't we just start at the top and see what you know? Tell me about Carl Linsky.
Well, Linsky and I both worked on STG. But I didn't know him back then. I recognized his picture in the paper from when he had his suicide.
Well, that's helpful. How about STG?
It was a really mysterious operation. When Greg brought me in to do some programming, I didn't know anybody on the design team, and we weren't encouraged to get to know each other either. Once we got our instructions, we went off to work in different places. None of us knew what each other was working on.
So, who's in charge of this little circus?
Greg had been there the longest. He was pretty much running the show.
So is he this overlord I've come to hear so much about?
Oh, no, there had to have been higher-ups. I knew Greg for a long time. We were in Mutant League together.
Oh. Just so I understand something here, the reason you got in contact with me is because you wanted me to find Carl's lab, right? Why?
Well, early on in the program, Greg got really paranoid and relocated his base of operations. And no one knew where he was at. I didn't even see him until after I finished my work with STG. A couple of weeks ago, after all the mysterious deaths, I decided to go underground to get a read on my life expectancy. Well, you see, I was underground and Greg found me, which didn't give me a great sense of well-being. Anyway, he said he needed my help.
To do what?
He wanted to find the pass cards we'd all been issued. You see, all 8 of us received these cards at the beginning of the project. They were used to transmit data from wherever we were working to some sort of central computer. Now, the whereabouts of that computer, that was top secret.
Well, what about the chess moves?
Oh, I don't know anything about those. I think they were Greg's idea. He designed the cards.
And you've got a card.
Yeah. Here. You take it. Just holding the thing next to my skin just gives me the hives.
No, it's that polyester.
Really?
You told me if I came here that I was going to get the answer to all of my questions.
I said that? No, I was just guessing. I've got something that might help. Now, Greg gave me this the last time I saw him. Now, he said, don't open it unless something happened to him. I think something happened to him.
What are we supposed to do with it?
What are we supposed to do with it? It's your problem now. I told you everything I know. I gave you a pass card, and I gave you what Greg gave me. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go somewhere and try not to get killed. Hasta la pasta, baby.
Hey, Larry. Thanks for the help.
Anytime.
So Larry was the mysterious informant. And he said he wasn't the poison pawn. Well, what was in the envelope he gave you?
There was a note written from Greg Call to Larry. There was more to the content of the note than met the eye. Larry's pass card. The corresponding scrambled password is written on the envelope Larry gave me.
Larry, I'm not sure if I should tell you this, but you can help me to figure out a riddle. This can be found out if you know my tendency to always pass along a good word and see what follows. Putting this message in a note was the idea I had first because of the letters you've written me. Good luck, Larry. I am relying on your most excellent and proven brain to carry on in trying to achieve the ultimate goal. Great.
Carl told Larry not to read this message unless something happened to him. There must be some sort of secret message contained in this note.
Really? Okay. Oh, there's some more here. Stalemate. Implementation? Yeah, stalemate implementation. Stalemate program. Chess match simulation. 8 chess moves available. 6 chess moves in correct sequence required to activate stalemate. Uses standard chess symbols and terminology. K king. Q X captures Q queen. Check. The king will be captured unless moved. B bishop. Checkmate. The king cannot avoid capture. R rook. A to H. The 8 rows files running vertically between players. And knight 1 to 8. The 8 rows ranks running horizontally. And P pawn. Rx E7 rook moves from its current location and captures the piece on the E file and the 7th rank. QXD7 queen moves from its current location and captures the piece and the D file and the 7th rank. BF5 bishop moves from its current location to the F file and 5th rank. RD1 rook moves from its current location to the D file and 1st rank, and so on. So there's several moves here. I'll write those down real fast. Okay, so the things to get away from this is these are the 8 possible chess moves, and only 6 moves are required to activate the stalemate. Yeah, that's basically it. And then you have to figure out which moves and in what order you need to make. Alright.
Larry's pass card. The corresponding scrambled password is written on the envelope Larry gave me.
He also said there was something hidden here, maybe?
Carl told Larry not to read this message unless something happened to him. There must be some sort of secret message contained in this note.
I'm not sure if I should tell you this, but it can help me to figure out the riddle. This can be found this can be found out if you know my tendency to always pass along a good word and see what follows. Huh? Putting this message in a note was the idea I had first because of the letters you have written me. Good luck, Larry. I'm relying on your most excellent and proven brain to carry on in trying to achieve this ultimate goal. Alright. What if I do something like this? Nope. And the very least.
Wrong pass card.
Wait, what?
STG must have bought these pass card readers in bulk.
Well, he gave me the B cards. I tried F already.
Wrong pass card.
So which card is this for?
Wrong pass card. Wrong pass card. Wrong pass card.
None of these. Wow. So, was I supposed to come back here?
Oh. The mysterious informant said I'd find answers to all my questions if I found this place. Maybe this computer is the mother lode.
Nice.
Oh, a chip-making device manufactured by Frito Intel. The two mega corporations merged a few years back and cornered the chip market. Well, I have no clue what these displays mean. Seems to be a large light panel. Well, this should make a nice addition to my pass card collection.
Well, look at this.
Seems to be a large light panel. This was Greg Call's pass card.
I see. And there is no password for it, so I guess I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Well, I certainly hope the switch doesn't control anything potentially lethal.
Nope, it's not that one. So that password is for the B card.
Carl told Larry not to read this message unless something happened to him. There must be some sort of secret message contained in this note.
This can be found out if you know my tendency to always pass along a good word and see what follows. I don't know, a response? A good response? Anyway, putting this message in a note was the idea at first because of the letters you've written me. Nothing comes to mind right now. Oh, okay. I think I get it. Let's see if it's really this. Nope, wrong. Well, really? Nope, it's not case sensitive. It's just a different password. Decoding the letter. I got no ideas.
Link's LS mug. I've got to play that one of these days. I'm willing to bet this project of Linsky's figures prominently into the case, not to mention whoever this Overlord character is. Question is this the unpronounceable name of some Anasazi god, or something? Unless I'm way off base.
Can I get out of here?
Okay, I know you'd neutralize the implant, but didn't the mysterious informant say that all your questions would be answered if you found Greg Call's lab? It doesn't sound like you found very much.
You're right. I still had to get into Greg Call's computer. I just had to look around a little more.
I had to look around a little more. Well, the game let me out. I think I should be able to figure it out though, based on what I have so far.
Ah, the Royal Game of India. In my book, Parcheesi, Twister, and Ms. Pac-Man are the triumvirate of competitive gaming.
What topic would you like us to research? Thank you for using.
Ooh, this will be good.
What are you showing me that for? Do you intend to blackmail me? It's no secret I employed escorts occasionally in the past. As to the identity of the young woman, I never knew her real name, or wanted to.
Okay. That's an interesting coincidence, though. Wait, I can't go back to the Fresno office? There it is. Nope, nothing new.
So, how is your investigation progressing?
It's a little stale.
I found out some things that might interest you.
I thought you might. You seem a resourceful and persistent fellow.
Nope. Wrong.
Implant removal station. Well, the IRS has always been good at removing everything else from me. Rubik's keyboards. Putting the challenge back into data entry.
Nice.
These aren't the ones I need. Oh, a chip-making device manufactured by Frito Intel. The two megacorporations. This thing gives me flashbacks to my former dentist and the horrible wisdom teeth incident. It gives flashbacks to my former dentist and the horrible wisdom teeth incident. Man, talk about wired for sound. Art Garfunkel could rock on these speakers. Security card reader. Must be for the autoclave.
Nah, I don't think I'm gonna find anything else here. Nope, doesn't work.
Carl told Larry not to read this message unless something happened to him. There must be some sort of secret message contained in this note.
I always pass along a good word and see what follows. Putting this message in the note was the idea. Well, the stalemate is the best thing I could think of. I don't know, any keywords I could find in here maybe? Maybe if I tried the names for the chess pieces?
STG must have bought these pass card readers in bulk.
Nope, doesn't seem like it's those. Alright, let's see. Surprise me game. Enter the password gambit. Okay. I won't have to love this.
To Larry, or whoever's watching this, I'll have to assume that my first plan has failed, and I'm probably dead. The purpose of this message is a warning, and afterwards my computer will reformat, so listen up. I've enjoyed a long friendship with J. St. Gideon. We founded Gideon Enterprises together years ago, and I believe that he is a good man and has honorable intentions, regardless of how I may disagree with his philosophy. For years, he has worked on a program called Overlord, a worldwide surveillance system which would allow him ultimately to control key political figures, thereby speeding up the world peace process. This was all made possible about a year ago. A breakthrough in nanotechnology allowed us to create microscopic devices that, once implanted inside someone, would allow us to control the physiological reactions, the chemical reactions, make the person a slave to positive response. And in this way was born the STG project, sort of a Pavlovian remote control program. We recruited 7 other scientists and put them on different phases of the project so none of them would know what the entire project was about. We gave them pass cards which would allow them to transmit data to a central overlord computer. I found out shortly thereafter that John Klaus, one of the scientists, was intending to sell out the project to the Law and Order Party. When I went to Gideon with my fears, he disregarded them. Either he knew something that I didn't, or he was simply too obsessed to listen to reason. Regardless, I took it upon myself to implement a fail-safe program into Overlord, which I called Stalemate. Now, in order to activate this Stalemate fail-safe program in the Overlord system, all 8 STG pass cards are required. I made a plan to track down the other 7 pass cards. I started with Carl Linsky's home once I'd learned that he'd committed suicide, but I was unable to find the card. The thought crossed my mind that since Carl Linsky and John Klaus were friends, that possibly Linsky staged his own death and is working with Law and Order and John Klaus. But I can't substantiate that. At this point, I'm not sure who I can trust, outside of Larry Hammond and J. St. Gideon, though I'm not sure how much J. St. Gideon will listen to me at this point. Regardless, Gideon's program, Overlord, must be deactivated. If not by me, then by whoever's watching this message.
I knew it!
You knew what?
Sylvia was behind the whole thing. Oh, it all fits together now. Of course, Linsky staged his own suicide.
Okay, you've got yourself an interesting theory now. Play with it.
Well, okay. Linsky worked at the clinic, right? And, well, there's a lot of patients there, and, maybe one was in a coma or terminally ill, and Linsky finds one that is about his same size, maybe even looks like him. And I think that's where Linsky probably gets the idea. So he dresses the patient in his clothes. He, plants the wallet, the keys, and the suicide note on him. They, dump the body in the bay, and it's recovered, and who identifies it?
Sylvia.
Please, we're finished, thanks. Well, did I get it? Did I figure it out?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe so.
So, well, then why don't you tell me the rest?
Actually, I'm fascinated by your story. Why don't you tell me what you'd do next?
If it were me, I would probably go to the Law and Order Party headquarters.
That's exactly where I went, because now I had Robert Knott's pass card.
This time there was no sign of our friendly night watchman, though I figured he was around somewhere. I doubted the coffee trick would work again, so I had to figure out another plan.
Alright, I'm saving here and I'm gonna go now. So thank you very much for watching and see you next time.